Hello, good morning, everyone. Let me just double check my screen here. Mm, Good morning, everyone. All right, looks like it's working, so that's good. Yeah, hope you guys have a good weekend. And today is March 24th, Monday, 2025. Um, yeah, right now I am on a boat actually. So not sure if you guys can see. It's a nice, really nice day. Um, we're just starting the morning here, going towards Mexico on the Carnival Panorama. It's a very nice view. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. So this is the ocean here. I'm not sure how loud the ocean sound is, the waves, but very relaxing. I'm surprised. This is my first time out here sitting in the morning, and the sun is just about covered by the clouds right now, so it's not as bright yet, but the sun is rising, and yeah, it's very calm and relaxing actually with the ocean wave sound. So, but anyhow, unfortunately, my desk is a little bit myself is a little bit low on the table, so yeah, so it's hard to probably see right now where like the waves and stuff, but nice background view. So hopefully you guys able to still see me or see the screen okay and everything. Yeah, very small screen. Sorry, I don't know how to like flip the screen to bigger without doing too much maneuvering and stuff. But yeah. Anyhow, yeah, looks like so. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the market in general. How are we doing today? We definitely have a huge gap up this morning. Um, Nasdaq, you can see over the weekend I talked about how it's been coming back to the 10-day many times, right? One, two, three, and Friday we also like Friday was actually like started out pretty bad because it undercut the lower trend line right there. But then it closed all the way at the top, and then today we have a gap up. Now this gap up looks like it has headed towards the 21 days so far this morning. Hasn't really give back much yet. So yeah, so it's heading towards the 21 day somewhere around here, right? As you can see on the daily chart. So we have hit it right now, and you know, the market could have easily reversed this morning, come back down to 10-day. It didn't do that. So that's the good thing, right? It opens up and, um, we have our first pullback right here, like that is more visible, 5-minute bar here. And then it makes new high again. So that's also another good sign so far this morning. We are just exactly about an hour into the market right now. Um, and then we have the 200-day right here. So that is the next challenge is the 200-day line, and look, yeah. So this week will be very interesting, right? So we'll see what's gonna happen with all this tariff related news as we come closer and closer to the April 2nd day, which is a lot of reciprocal tariff stuff will happen, and how much of it will be excluded in that case. No one knows, but well, maybe Trump knows, but let's see what happens, right? But the market is rising on the news that hey, that Trump said, hey, on Friday afternoon. I don't know exactly when he said that, but it was like somewhere in the midday, and that's when the market kind of jumped, and that's why it also closed strong. Was the fact that, hey, you know what? Um, maybe it's not as bad as people think, but who knows, right? Like maybe at the end it could be actually bad. So, with that being said, yeah, so that'll be the current. This is the 21 day. It might head to 200 day and get rejected right there. That is a very huge line right there where a lot of institutions follow. If it does pass that, like I do expect some volatility there. And then there's the 50-day coming down right now. So that's another huge potential resistance, right? So we have two major resistance. Right now we're at 21 day. 21 day for especially for Nasdaq is always a very strong support line, especially in an uptrend. So yeah, but because we're in a correction late recently, and now we try and bounce back, it's hard to tell because we're not really in the true uptrend yet. We haven't got a follow through day. So a follow through day is when we have a higher volume up day than previous day, right? And the problem with Friday, right here, hold on a second, let me just shut off first. Right here, we have a lot of volume here, and it might be hard to beat that volume on Friday to get a ball today. That is the only problem today. So technically we have enough price action today, 1.25%, but not enough volume, right? Like it could be not enough volume. Like I'll be very surprised if we get a lot of volume, but this is above average and it's a quadruple witching day, right? So let me just quickly go look at the volume on investors.com IBD right now. Um, okay, so that's interesting, right? Like right now, you can see Nasdaq is up 4.8% above yeah the previous day, which is Friday. At this time of day, right now, 1 hour into the market, it is up 4.8%. So technically, right now, it is a follow through day. Okay, because of that, and we are up, over 1.25%. So that's also give the satisfy the criteria. So at this moment, we are having a follow through day. So so that's really good. And again, this morning I said, we'll come back to the index, by the end of the show stream here. But right now, it is actually climbing higher, which is very impressive, right? We kind of test the low here a little bit. It never came back down even during the gap down. But again, it's so early. We could definitely see it come down later, right? But so far, all the signs are pointing towards uh, uh, a stronger volume and an big up day today. And even when we come back down at the end of the day, as long as we satisfy those two criteria, we have a fall through day. Now, with a word of caution is that not all follow through day works. So especially in a downtrend, um, and recent downtrend is quite severe. So we haven't really test anything, right? And right, that's why the moving averages are kind of like the test, right? Can they actually follow through on those? No one knows, right? Even if it follow through today, it can still fail at those key moving averages. Because that's where a lot of institutions they kind of follow those big lines like 200 day, 50 day. So so that's a word of caution there, right? But again, I like to follow the growth stock leaders because they're the ones who tell me what because they're usually like outperform the market when there's a bull run, and they always underperform the market when it has a downtrend, right? So it does both, right? Both ways. So when the growth stock leader are outperforming, that usually tells me, hey, that's a good sign. So that's what we're looking for. This is why every day I spend this time looking at stocks on the move, and also throughout the whole day to see like, hey, are those leaders actually gonna stay strong for the whole day? So that's my way of like gauging like what how's the market perform is looking at the indexes and looking at the growth stock leaders, right? So with that being said, let's just jump to it now, because there's a lot of growth stocks moving right now. So that's the good thing. Okay, so let me see here. Go back to stock in the move here. Okay, so I'll just go through the list very quickly first. Docs, Bros, Astro, Flutter, Reddit, Shopify, Palantir. So a lot of familiar names here, right? Palantir app, Cecil, RL, Bwin, GME, Palomar, Navago, Spotify, Ads, Dash, Hutu, DB, and Skywest. So we have the full 20 stocks. That's the maximum I get from this screen. But the lowest volume right now is 45%. So which is not bad. Half a day, half 1 hour into the market, and we still have. I mean, it will go down. This 45% will go down by end of day, and we might not have 20 stocks. So we'll see. It was really strong at the open in terms of volume, but it definitely have dissipate quite a bit. So that with that being said, I think like you know, I do think this one a little bit weaker than I would want. So yeah, so I would say that. Um, so yeah, so that's what's happening right now. So I mean, we can just go through this list right now and see what's happening. Let me pull this closer. It's easy for me. Skywest here. This is pretty sure this is an airline. Yeah. So airline stocks have taken a beating. Right now, it looks like it's trying to bounce, right? But this wouldn't qualify my criteria because it has a fourth quarter earnings of 234 versus 227, which is negative. So I'm gonna pass on this. So let me just like copy this for a second. Today is already 24th. Uh, SFM. This one has pretty good earnings, right? So this one is also bouncing. Okay, so this one I do have a trade. Um, right here on the markup here on the green arrow, that's the day I bought when it kind of came above the 10-day moving average, the green line. Since then, um, let me just take out this other markup here. So that one, so it's been riding the 10-day for days here, like out of 5 days here. 3 days it popped up and it kind of came back down below it. And today it actually kind of take off. And I'm gonna assume many stocks doing that today, right? Any stocks that haven't come out yet, uh, again, when I say come out, like in this case, it will be like very decisively, and it looks like it did today. It's a gap up from the 10-day. Also, the 21-day has caught up to it, and also it also gap up above the 21-day. So it's kind of like a two for one deal here. We have a day that where this stock actually comes out from those two lines. So really strong action. Um, I don't know how much position I have on this. I don't know if it's a full position or half position, but it looks so good right now. I would add to it. And it's also probably a good entry point for initial position as well. Again, all the information I'm talking about is only for general information only. Please do your own due diligence. Um, in terms of the trend line here, you saw my trend line I draw earlier, like basically it just broke the 1021 day. In terms of the general trend line from the top, I like to draw like, let's say like this angle right here. Um, it broke that. I basically put it on the previous day's high here, and you can see this is pretty much 45-degree angle, and that's probably good enough in most cases. Because what happens is that you have a price correction, right? That this deep, and then you have a time correction that is this deep, and the 45-degree angle just gives you more confidence, right? Versus a trend line that comes down like this, which you can see as well. This is much steeper, and obviously it took more time for it to digest, this correction here, and then now, it's past that 45-degree angle, and like I say, everything looks good on this chart right now. Um, so so yeah, so let me go track that right now, and I'll just make a note here to possibly add. Okay, again, I usually track all these growth stocks, even if I have full position, I also track them. Not necessarily to add, but just to understand during the whole day, what are these growth stocks leader doing? Are they gonna pull back? Are they gonna underperform the index by the end of the day? Stuff like that, right? Because that give me a good sense where the market is heading, at least very short term. So that's why I do this. Okay, so I'll talk about Netflix just because like I will talk about all the stocks as much as I can, if I have that time. But yeah, Netflix. Here's Netflix right now, and I kind of I have been praising this stock quite a bit because of the earnings guidance, for earnings guidance. Like this is a pretty nice jump here, like 29 to 35%, in the second to fourth quarter here. The first quarter is not bad, like 9%, which near my 10% mark. This one has been bouncing. This is the third week right now. Today it didn't move much, which is kind of not good because it's not relatively compared when the market is bouncing. I don't know if there's any news. Like it's weird that it actually reversed. So it did kind of move up this morning, but it kind of reversed. So it made a new high. You can see right here, make a new date, like in recent high here, but then it reversed, right? So let's go to intraday chart. So here you go, we gap up and then look at this bar. That was a huge sell right there. It's a 5 minute bar, and then it bounced off really quickly. But look at now, like it just the momentum. Definitely, there's some big sellers happening here. Not sure what's happening. Like I said, I don't know if there's any news. I'll have to look for it if there's any news later. But right now it's at the low of the day. And it's already undercut this low right here, which is really negative because this bounced 2 times. Like look at this higher high, lower highs here, right? This is a pretty sharp angle too. So yeah, unfortunately, this is not working out today. And I have positions. Let me show you where my markups are. Right there. First time it comes to the all the moving averages here, and then it tried again right there, and then I added last week as well. Um, I might have added on Friday as well. Because how it closed, it was closing pretty strong. But today, yeah, I'm not sure what happened. So, not one day is not super bad, right? Even if this is where we close today, it's not super bad. But again, we'll see where the volume comes in. Right now, what does it say about the volume? Let me see if I can see here. It is plus 10%, but I think by the end of the day, it'll be like lower than average. So that's what that means. So if it's lower volume, it's probably okay too. So that's good because you don't want to see it selling in higher volume. That's the worst thing you could see. Um, so let's see how this goes, right? But right now today it's not acting well. It did make a new high, but like I said, it's just not acting well because it reversed. I'll put a note to see how this continues to do, right? Um, so yeah. Okay, let's jump to other stocks for now. DB. Let me refresh the screen. I don't know if the numbers change. Sometimes it doesn't change, but usually it does. Okay, so it did change here. So a little bit different now. Um, okay. So we had Toast, Chewy. Let me mark track those for now. Chewy. We had Toast here as well. So we can do Toast right now. The only reason I start from the bottom of the list is because the change, right? So if I need to track it, I lose it. It changed too fast. Um, because I only see 20 stocks. That's the problem here. So anyhow, so this one looks pretty good. Negative 0.15 to 0.18 quarterly earnings. Um, and then it continued to grow. So this is pretty big growth. This number doesn't look right because we're going from 3 cents to 22, 7 to 24, 5 to 24. So those are huge moves. The stock hasn't really done that much though, right? But we are kind of bouncing back. But again, every stock has corrected. Now is they're bouncing back. This is my initial last trend line I drew here on the 21 day. So it's definitely above 10 day right now, and you can see it came to 21 day the last 3 days. Trying to basically come out of this area, right? So if I draw a trend line from this top here, so yeah, I mean this is definitely more than 45-degree angle now. So and it's above 10 and it's at 21 day right now. So if you want to be safe, then you kind of wait for this decisive move above 21 day because it's already so close to that. Because if we get rejected here, um, you know, depending where you set your stop, you could set your stop in the last 3 days low here, which is very close to each other anyway. So then might be like 2% or something like that. Yeah, so it might be worth the risk. I'm not sure, but again, uh, yeah, looks good right now. Like I say, I rather see it move decisively above the 21 day since it's so close. Like I don't mind buying higher. The part of the problem is we have this 50-day line coming down slightly, not that bad, but just slightly, right? So that's the next big resistance line. So if you buy right here and it goes up there, then at least you have this much cushion. Um, but if it gets rejected here, and also your stop might be really tight. So actually, it's worth the risk, I think. And again, the angle of this trend line is more flattened now. So that and the earnings are really aggressive. So let me just quickly see. This is not. I haven't traded this stock yet. Let me just see where it is tracking on the growth stock list. 253. Okay, so it's pretty low on the list. That's for sure. But and that's probably why, because it hasn't come up decisively yet. That's probably the biggest problem. So because it's so low on the list, like I don't usually um take a trade, but I would watch this. I think it has potential, right? Sometimes some stocks will come later in a rally, but this one could certainly be one of them. So a good one to watch anyway. So I'll just put that down. DB here. So DB is really strong. Like it keep making new highs. I think I talked about this stock a few times now. It just doesn't have that 90 cents versus. Let me see here. 90 cents versus 83 right here. So that's the problem. But the other quarter seems okay. So it's just one quarter that is kind of slightly weaker. But this stock has really run. This is German bank, and I think German economy, German market is doing well. I think that's part of the reason why this stock just outperforming. So yeah, yeah, for those who want to look at it quickly, PUK, that's insurance. Let's see how the earnings look like. Um, yeah, I can't see the earnings right now. It doesn't say here. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, I think I'll pass on this for now. Okay. Um, so let's look at food two. Food two is a Chinese stock, and last week very brutal for a lot of Chinese stocks. They pulled back really strong. I think I talked about FXI on the weekend. It gapped down Thursday and Friday, both days. Pretty much most Chinese stocks that I have traded are now I'm out of it. So this one has a slight negative right now. So I probably won't get back in because of that because it just reported recently. But when I had it, I had it before the earnings came out. So, but anyhow, you can see even today the bounce is kind of weak right now. Normally this stock trade move 5% pretty easy. Anyhow, yeah. So I think I try it here, fell, and then I try it here, and it fell right here. So Thursday, Friday gap down, um, and today it gap up, but now it's already reversing. So the 10 days sloping down right now. So that's not good. So that's really negative right now. So anyhow, yeah, a lot of Chinese stock are really getting hit. And today, you like again today it bounced back, but the 10 days right there. So huge resistance line right now. So checking my stream, making sure everything's still okay. Yeah, it says excellent connection. So that's good. All right. So let's finish the financials here. CISO make a big move today. Um, I do have this stock. Um, so really good earnings, sales, right? So it's starting to bounce. This one corrected a lot. You can see even today it's still down 46% from the 52-week high. Um, so yeah, so today you can see right here, it finally came out of this area right here, the 10 day, and 21 days is just right there. And you know, not only did it go above 1021, it just went straight to the 50 day. So it's a really big move, 8% day today. So now we're at the 50 day. So if we clear this 50 day, fall through next day, that'll be fantastic. Because that, usually once you clear it and if it does, you can hold that at that price, um, it can really go after that because there's no more resistance. And if you look at this stock's history, once it goes, it usually goes pretty fast. Here's another example here. There's two runs here that are really really fast. So we'll see if that will happen. There is because this correction started pretty early compared to many other stocks. So the first time it fell right here, but that's because the market actually corrected as well. And anyhow, so right now, yeah, it looks pretty good. Like if you look at 5 minute bar, it's getting tested right now. You can see it just make a new low right there. but look at that low, it bounced back right away. Um, Volumes I think is really thin on this stock, so that's the other problem. That's why it can move one way or the other so easily because of that volume. Um, so so yeah. Anyhow, so I got in right there. I had to sell some on this day. So I'm probably definitely not full position, um, but today is a good day so far. Yeah, and if it falls to tomorrow, that'll be even better. So, so definitely good to watch this now. For me, it's an ad potential ad candidate here. All right, Palomar. So this one also have really good earnings and sales. This one has been climbing. You see the 50 days down here, so it's doing really well. So this one has been doing well even when the market was correcting. However, it hasn't outperformed recently, right? You can see the relative strength line right here. It's kind of slightly going down, and this was the big. So so it went up pretty fast here. It went up to 20% in really short time, and then we had a huge pullback right here. Huge. That's where I got shaken out. Then it bounced back, and now the bounce is kind of stalled recently. You see, even last week. So that's the biggest problem right now for me. I find, and even on Friday, it didn't move much, right? But today it moved. But like I say, I don't know. The, the recent action is not very strong to me, especially with the relative strength heading down. So that's the only problem with the stock right now. It's relative strength weak. So let me make a note of that. Um, so yeah, it is making new high today, but I don't know. It's RS week right now, and it is on the top 100 though. So because it hasn't, it did well, right? Like I said, so it might be just a. Let's just make sure my stream is working. Let me go back to refresh the stream here. Make sure I can hear myself. Yeah, the internet is a little bit weaker, so that's the problem right now. I think. Let me go back to refresh the stream here. Make sure I can hear myself. Yeah, it's back. I think I'm back. So anyhow, sorry about that. Let me go back to so yeah, Palomar again a little bit weaker than I want, but sometimes it just take time to digest because it did make that 20% move pretty fast. So so it could be working. So let's track that today. All right, let's move on. So let's see where we at. So you notice here Avago at the bottom 29% volume. Um, let me see if I can. I just want to make sure I can reconnect to my interactive brokers here. So yeah, looks like QQQ at 2.12%, SPY 1.7, Dow at 1.3, and Russell at 2.4. So they're still holding pretty strong here. Um, so let me go back to the screen here. So let's start looking at some tech stocks here. So Avago, So it's a little bit hard to see, but like lately it's just struggling around this area, like this zone right here. So today you can see it poked back up again, but it already reversed, right? And I don't know what's taking so long, like why this stock is taking so long to come out. Um, this is pretty flat now, the trend line. So it should have come out and strong, right? But it didn't. So that makes me think, like, this stock might not be the leader we thought it would be, right? So that's the biggest problem right now. So um so that's the only problem. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, today, like I said, it gap up, but it just doesn't have much power to go higher. Again, 21 days right here, it's getting resistance there. So that's the problem with this stock right now. And it's not good because relatively you can see uh it's probably going down. Let me go to daily chart to show that. So right here, right? This last week here, it underperformed the market. So that's the problem. So this one also have issue. So if I go to Avago here, let's copy this, right? Next, I think Dash was on the list here, so let's go take a look. So this one really took off today, right? Again, a lot of stocks have some stocks are having trouble around the 10-day. So this you have 21 day, you have 10-day, you have 50-day here, all converging, and it took a few tries, right? Like today, it finally decisively you know basically bounce off the lows and go higher. So that's good, right? This is really powerful move today, 3.5%. Let's look at intraday chart. Look at this. It even tests some of the lows here. So, and then it just climbed at really strong angle after that. So this is definitely, for me, I already have most likely a full position already. But I think I would add to this just because it's so strong today. So, and the market is still holding up after, 1.5 hours. Again, it could dissipate by end of day. As long as it doesn't reverse too bad, I think that's still good. And we have volume in some of these leaders, and again, we'll see how all the leaders do. Um, but yeah, I just want to show again the volume. The sky is turning more brighter as the sun is coming out. Um, it's probably small on my screen. I apologize, but it's really nice. It's 9 a.m. on the west coast now, so it's 10 a.m. Mountain time where I'm from. But yeah, amazing view. So anyhow, it really calms me down actually. All right, let's go to Spotify because this is probably my favorite stock. Let's see how it's doing today. Sorry, my internet is a little bit not as fast as usual. So here's Spotify. It's one of the first one to not only break all the key moving averages around that area. Then on Friday, it was able to close near the top as well. It's been trading really tight recently. You know, in terms of like the chart itself, is probably the one that has come back the fastest because you see where we are, right? Bottom to top. We are almost near the top now. Now this morning we did have a reversal, so that's not ideal. Um, but again, this stock has proven itself, right? So that's one of the things that I've tried to be better at is don't look at one day's action as, you know, tell the whole story, right? And that's why relative strength line is so important. This one came up one of the fastest recently, and then now it's digesting, right? So it's not like nothing negative really. Like this could easily go on and make you higher the relative strength once you start to go. But of course, no one likes reversal, especially after you bought it. But we are seeing that reversal this morning. We still have lots of support level. We have support level here. We have support level here. So again, those tight actions really strong to me. Like right here, this area right here is really tight action. And then today we're able to like go up higher. Um, Now there's always the negative thing. Like maybe this reversal is the start of the next trend down, right? But I think this stock has proven itself over the last almost 2 weeks here. That I don't think that will happen. But you never say never, right? There's always a slight 10 to 20% chance of that happening. Um, but I love this stock. But it's like I said, it's one of my favorite stock right now. So let's see how this trade. If it bounce back, oh man, that would be so bullish. Like it reverse and then it reverse again. I mean, I don't think I've seen that yet, but recently. But if that happens, that would be so powerful. Like, yeah, let's just keep watching this today. Katie, 5% on the fourth quarter, so probably won't meet my mark. It is bouncing a little bit, so yeah, it is very strong quarter though. Like you see this number negative to like 57 cents, which is the highest in the whole year. So, but yeah, okay, another strong stock here. Previously, the app. So I talked about this on the weekend video. Yeah, yeah. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and follow those videos as well because I go into more thorough analysis in those stuff. Um, Again, another strong performer earnings sales wise. This has been bouncing third week in a row now. So these are the former leaders. They have corrected significantly and now we are bouncing back. So here's the 10-day line right there last week. Now we have surpassed 21 day. Look at that gap up this morning. Powerful. Now we're heading towards 50-day. So far this one hasn't reversed. So this is really good. So we have one bar, down bar here that got tested very early on in the day. So far we haven't come back. Look at this. It hasn't come back. Now here we again still higher low. We haven't come back. It looks really strong. Okay. Yeah. Um, yeah. Potential ad candidate, I would say, for me anyway. Again, for many growth stocks, especially tech stocks, they follow 21 day really strongly. You know, so what that means is that once it passes the 21 day after a correction, this becomes the support level. Now, early on in the rally, it might still come back to 10 day because they're so close to each other. But usually after that, they don't usually come back. Like so, for example, you look at this one right here. It never even come to the pink line once. This is like you know halfway between 10 and 21 day. So that's what I'm trying to say here. Like 21 days is a very strong line. It will come back to 10 day a lot, but not the 21 day for most high beta tech stocks. So anyhow, so that's good that it passed the 21 today decisively. Again, these are powerful decisive action here. Okay. Today I'm going a lot slower here in 916 mountain time, yeah. Sorry, because the internet is a little bit slow. So this one has one 8% quarter. Whoa, today it has a powerful gap up. Look at that. Look at this. Yeah. So it was riding the 10 day. And then Friday it was able to close at the high, and today it just fall through. Very powerful. Yeah. Not on my list, but yeah, it's a very powerful stock. And it frequently shows up on IBD stocks on the move list too. So Palantir. So Palantir on Friday I added to it. You can see it kind of closed at the newest high, and then today it fall to wow. So App and Palantir, the two previous leaders are going again. These two leaders are, probably the strongest leader last run. Like um, in the top 10 for sure. And now it's proving itself again. So yeah. Now I like it's definitely a little bit extended now, right? 10-21 days down here, the 10-day right here. Usually I move my stop to that level. So when it gets a little bit extended, especially after the gap up this morning, I don't usually add to them because they could pull back the next day very easily. But yeah, you know, I have to. I still want to watch it though. This is really great stuff. Reddit, another strong earning and sales stock. This is also another previous leader here. Corrected a lot. It's still down 45%. Now this one, like I said, lately been so choppy. There was some news. I can't remember now what those news are, but last time I got shakeout right there. Looks like it came back above this trend line right now on the 10-day. 21 days still coming down strong, so there's another hurdle there. And 50 days is pretty far away. So in terms of relative strength, it's kind of all over the place. It hasn't done too much in the last 2 weeks because of this all like I said, because of this sloppiness here. But today is acting well. Maybe. Now the one thing I do notice is this bottom here. The bottom here, you have the original low. It came back and tested 1, 2, 3, 4 days, pretty much, and it didn't break that low. Well, maybe it did, like slightly, but not by much. So that's the one good sign so far. That maybe the problem is formed, but it's just very sloppy, like just very choppy, right? Um, yeah. So this one is a hard one. If I have to take a position, where would I take the position? I would say like because this was the previous high right here, which is kind of slightly above the 21 day. So you know if you want to kill like if you want to have kind of 2-for-1 deal here, you could wait till it pass 21 day and then it most likely will pass this line or get close to it. And if it closed there, that would be a new closing high because this one it actually didn't close. It closed at the bottom here that day. So the last highest close was right there. So yeah, so the 21 day and then this last highest close, if we can surpass those two lines decisively, then I would say maybe the uptrend would be like more confident, to be intact. Also, this trend line here is more 45. It still look a little steep to me, but yeah, but like I said, if we pass those two lines, at least it might have a chance of staying strong. So watch this stock. Like I said, I can't remember that news. Why it dropped so much that day recently. Here's docs. Oops, didn't update here. Does this one have a lower earnings guidance? That's the only problem. So I'll pass on that. Okay, so those are the list of tech stocks. Again, going over time today because my stream um is really the internet a little bit slower than usual. So we talk about Owago, Dash, Paramount. So we haven't talked about like retail here. Chewy, CCL. Okay, let's go talk about GameStop. These are, I don't know. Let's look at it. I don't it's not hasn't been on my radar. So yeah, so lower earnings, right? Chewy. So I don't usually trade lower earnings stocks. So Chewy, GameStop, probably similar. Like look at all this negative earnings. So it's not really my style of stock. Even if they're bouncing back right now, it's just not my preference, right? So I usually market slightly different here. Mm, where is it? Right here. Low earnings. Um, CCL. Let me see what other names. RL here. The CCL is Carnival. That's the cruise I'm on right now this week. With my family here. So let me go to it. CCL. So just one slight quarter of like lower earnings here, just slightly. But it is growing though, right? So yeah. So yeah, how I'm gonna pass this because it's kind of on the lower end of the single digit, like yeah. So I'm gonna pass it. Um, RL. So this one has stable teen earnings here, lower single digit sales. It is bouncing. So this morning you can see the 10-day right there, and it kind of decisively passed it. So that's good. I traded it right here, but the shakeout right here. So so right now it looks again the slope. Let me look at the slope. The slope is probably closer to the 21 day. Below the 21 day is a little bit more steep. So if you want to wait, you can wait until that 45-degree angle here, which is near the 21 day. But looks okay. I would definitely I'll see if I like how it goes. I'm gonna initiate a position. Let me also check the ranking here. Let me see. Okay, so this is pretty low, 300, right? So again, I just wait. Maybe better to wait. Oh, my power battery is on, so I'm running out of energy here, and I'm outside on the patio, which has no outlet. So I'll finish the stream pretty soon here. Rose, Rose, I know has good earnings. I think. Okay, single digit here. It slowed down quite a bit. That's the only problem. Look at this bounce here. Very strong, 8%. So this one is definitely high beta growth stock. Wow, look at this gap up right here above all the key moving averages. So a lot of people like this stock. And it's definitely like 45-degree angle now. So that's look, everything looks good. So again, um, yeah, it's not gonna. I mean, I really tempted to buy this stock, but this I don't know. I have to follow my strict rule. Um, I believe Flutter doesn't have that strong earnings. Yeah, so there's slight miss here. Um, that's fine. Let me see how much the strategy has left. It's 28%, so we'll see. Can still keep going, but power energy save on now. So which means like it's not as bright on the screen. Hopefully you can still see it. CLS. This is also another previous leader. It corrected quite a bit, still 30% down even after this bounce. This is the third week of bounce right now. It looks like a gap up this morning. So here's the 10-day. Then it came to 21 day. So this morning it just decisively moved gap up above, like way above. So this is good. So I do have position now. Last Thursday I bought into it as well. So yeah, looks really good. This one looks really good. So let's just finish this two stocks here. D. This is utility. So stable earnings, stable sales, looks pretty good. Stock not moving though. I don't know why. So yeah, even this morning it kind of fell back, right? So yeah, it's not moving. So actual aerospace defense is making new high today. Um, yeah, it's not on my list just because it had lower earnings here, but in the third and fourth quarter, but it looks really good. Like I mean, this is probably one of the stronger chart patterns because it has already climbed back after the earnings, big big gap up there. Then it's able to follow through recently. This is a classic tight action right here. Look at how tight it's trading after a big gap up, and then now they finally come out. So patience is the key to some of this stuff. But um, yeah, it's not for me just because of the earnings. Um, so so that's pretty much it. We'll do a last market check, call it a day. Um, but yeah, I just want to say like we'll check the volume too, just to make sure things are still looking good. Let's go do that right away. Wow, volume just came up again, 6%. So when we started the show, it was like 4% or something. Now it's 6%. So we might have a fall through day. Let me just go check on the index as well. So QQQ is still at 2%, SPY 1.7, Dow 1.3. So all three indexes could actually fall through. But the most important one is Nasdaq and the SPY or S&P. Those are the two most important ones. But it looks like every single one. Now, let's say we have a fall through today, and um, yeah, and we could have volatility still, right? So just be mindful of that. It's kind of like one like, and lately I think that's what's been happening is you have one big step forward and one half step back. So that seems like lately the mojo here. So you're gonna have some down days for sure, but hopefully it's always followed by a big also a nice update, and that way you see progress slowly, right? So um yeah, so I'll just finish with the sun again, and uh hope you guys all have a good day, and look at the horizon here, really nice. See you next day. Bye. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.